Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion is called Parshas Pinchas, but we're going to speak about the 3-week mourning period that the Jewish people are in. There's a story about Rabbi Michal Zlochev. A traveler came from the Baal Shem Tov to give him regards. He found him he lived in a small hut at the end of Zlochev. The visitor came in, and Rabbi Michal was so happy that he got regards from the Baal Shem Tov. He said to his wife, "Please make a special lunch for our guest and myself." Meanwhile, the children of Rabbi Michal were dressed in rags. They hid behind the furnace in the house. And when the lunch came out, what was the lunch? Just 2 small fish, one for Rabbi Michal and one for the guest. The children were whispering, certainly the guest won't eat because he sees a hungry yard. It's only politeness that he'll leave the food over so we should have what to eat. The guest started to cry. "Why are you crying?" Rabbi Michal asked. He said, "Because of your poverty." Rabbi Michal said, "Let me tell you a story. There was a very wealthy person who was generous, and he was making a wedding for his daughter, and he invited all the local poor people to come to participate in the feast. On the day of the wedding, on the way to the chuppah, the bride died. Everybody's in a panic, right? But the poor people were split. Some people said, "What does it matter to us that the kala died? The tables are set. Let's eat." The other people said, the more delicate of the poor people said, "How can we eat in such a sad situation? The food is not ours. Let it go." Okay, Rabbi Michal said it's just an analogy. What's the actual story? That the bride is the temple, and the wedding is the temple, and the bride passing away is the destruction of the temple. Okay, and I just can't bring myself, I who sit at the table of the Almighty, can't bring myself to celebrate in such a period.